Hey guys, this is Finelikewine49. It's been about a week and a half since my last update, and I figured I would try something new due to the fact that I might as well be talking about my experience at EVO this year. It probably wouldn't work with me trying to talk about everything that happened while playing matches on Xbox Live, so I'll be doing a voiceover for the audio this time. I'll be switching my attention back to the matches if something interesting happens. I also want to talk about the match I had with Brawlylegs tonight. This video will have quite a bit of whining in it, so you have been warned. So, EVO. I had fun in Las Vegas the other week. This was my third EVO I participated in, and the last one I went to was probably more fun than this one, though. I spoke to Dominion a little while down there because I was in his quarterfinals bracket. He reminds me of a little bit of myself, actually. He seemed like a very boring person. But anyway, the reason why I thought EVO was more boring this year was probably because I lone wolfed it. There was about 30 people from Washington State that went down there, and I wasn't in close contact with any of them. I didn't do much with the 3 other dudes in my room as well. I also didn't drink that much either. All the Seattle guys went drinking right after they got knocked out of the tournament, and I was still focused on playing. I had to play at 6 p.m. on Friday because I ended up making it out of pools, and everyone had a head start on me with the drinking, and I didn't want to be around them by then. So I guess the moral of the story is group up with people. It makes the experience much more enjoyable when you're at a major. The tournament itself was very maddening to me. I guess I should first start with the bracket that I got pulled up in. There was about 1,500 people in Street Fighter 4 tournament, so there had to be obviously different stages where more people got eliminated. And the first stage of the tournament is called Pools, a bracket of 16 people where only 2 people make it out and get to go to quarterfinals, where there's about 100 people left in the tournament. And okay, I'll say this, my pool was probably an easy bracket. I found all the names that were in my pool and I tried to look them up online. Most of them did not have recorded matches at all, and the few that did were pretty horrible. There were 2 well-known players in my bracket. They were K-Brad and Mr. SNK. When I saw that, I said to myself, okay, if I play like I know how I can play, if I play to my highest potential, I could probably make it to losers or winners finals and go up against K-Brad or Mr. SNK, Honda or Cammy, and my odds are probably pretty good with those matches, making out of pools. When I first looked it up though, K-Brad had switched his gamer tag to FNS something. It started with an S, like FNS Shine or something. I guess he didn't want people to have a counter pick ready for him when they noticed him in the bracket, but everyone noticed him when we were down there. When the pool started, and he was first up because he was the exciting match, and he played terrible. He got destroyed against this average Ibuki player. Alright, this is my match with Brawlylegs, and if you don't know, Brawlylegs is a handicapped player who has a special arcade stick that he plays with his mouth. He's very good, he's very popular in the community. And in this match, I really want to focus on punishing his sweeps, because Chun-Li players flash kicks suck so much, look at that. They throw out sweeps so much, because it's so good against Guile. So I have to focus on trying to punish it any way I can to set up my pokes. Here he's getting in lots of sweeps on me, so I'm working on trying to whiff punish him. I could flash kick that, light flash kick on block, but I didn't have charge, so I kept jumping at him instead. Probably not smart. Yeah, it looks pretty bad here. Good thing I teched that. It's hard to tech online. I need to get in, which is so annoying. Can't throw too many Sonic Booms because that Ultra 1. Oh, that was just sick. I usually jump in on his jump in, but he managed to get me. Okay, I don't know what he threw that fireball for. Of course I was going to jump in on him. That was my only choice. He has Ultra, I can't Sonic Boom. So I got lucky there. Yeah, it's gotta be hard playing with like one hand in your mouth. I can't even imagine it. He's an amazing person. Okay, I didn't think he'd Ultra here, because it's early in the match. Usually Chun-Li players save Ultra for the late game, so I don't throw Sonic Booms late in the match, so I'm like, okay, his Ultra's gone, yay. I still have the life lead, too. I should probably be moving backwards. I punished that spin bird kick horribly. I thought he would sweep. I tried to show off and I failed, but he swept again and I punished him. Anyway, yeah, K-Brad, there was like a big group around him to watch his match and they were cheering for this Ibuki player. Ibuki player wasn't that great, but he played terrible. He'd like DP at mid-range and then get neck breakered. It was pretty interesting. So after he got knocked into loser, I was like, alright, the door's wide open for me. So it comes time for my first match. And it's against the tournament official. And I see him pick Guy. And I said to myself, like, really? Really, Street Fighter? It's Evo and I'm playing against a character that I know the least about. How lucky is this? I don't even know if the match is good or bad for Guile, but I get my ass kicked almost every time in that match. And I don't know if it's the match or if it's me being a stupid asshole. But skill-wise, he's probably average. I screwed up punishing elbow drops, and I was doing focuses late. Got knocked into the corner, and ended up getting beat pretty bad in the first game. And at that point, I wasn't nervous or mad. I was, like, shocked. This is the best way to put it. I was like, really? I put all this work in, and I'm about to get knocked into losers in my first game. So I figured, stop being conservative, just go with my reads, and just go nuts. Try to have fun. So I switched to Cammy, and I don't know if he doesn't know the match or anything, but I was able to turtle him easier than I turtled him with Guile. And I was able to punish his elbow drops and get knockdowns and get meaty jump-ins. I didn't let him get up once I knocked him down. Yeah, at the end, I guess I punished his main tools to get in, and he didn't know what to do after that. I guess he was too nervous to jump at me normally. So after that, after I beat him in the third game, I was feeling pretty good. Like, I figured it couldn't get too much worse after that. And it just so happens, like, my match is right after the one I just played, so I'm sitting there. I go to the button check with this new guy that I'm playing, and then he picks El Fuerte. And I was kind of worried, because that's Guile's first match, but I was like, he might be just counter-picking me and he doesn't really know how to play Fuerte. Oh, by the way, like, none of my other opponents tonight were good after Brawly Legs. Yeah, that was horrible. Alright, so it turns out El Fuerte was his main. And I played terrible in that match. He wasn't very good at all, but when he get a knockdown, I'd guess wrong every time on my wake up. And it happened all through the first game. I was keeping a good composure, but I was so pissed off on the inside. The very fact that I met up with an El Fuerte player in like the most important tournament of the year is just baffling to me. And it was right after I played a character that I didn't know jack crap about. I don't know anything about Guy, and then I play Fuerte. So I switched to Cammy again. And I wanted to get him to stop doing his tools and stop doing his game, so I went 100% rushdown. I didn't let him do anything. Like, I got ultra'd 2 or 3 times, but that was the only damage he did because I was just going all over him, and he did not know how to deal with pressure at all. I ended up beating him in game 2 and 3, so despite the players being nothing special, I ended up feeling pretty good about the situation. Could have easily gone to shit. Then I go up to the tournament organizer in the next match. I wanted to figure out who I was playing. His gamer tag was Rain, as in the rain that falls from the sky. I watched the R-A-I-N, yep. I watched the end of the set he was in. He's a pretty solid Viper player. I felt we were pretty similar in skill. Viper Guile is a 6'4" in Viper's favor, but I don't mind the match so much. Cammy's a good choice in the match, but I thought to myself, like, this is ridiculous. I'm a Guile player. I need to get my game going. I will just stick with Guile and hope for the best. I spoke to this Rain guy a little bit before our match. He was a very strange cat. He said like he knows all the top players and he goes to all the big tournaments, but he's not on speaking terms with them or something. I don't know. The conversation was strange. I expected to beat him actually, but I ended up losing the first match. I stuck with Guile, made some changes to my game, won the second game. For some reason the tempo, when it sped up, I was able to damage him more often. Then when the match slowed down, I got destroyed, which is kind of backwards, but anyway, I wasn't ready for how many cross-up burn kicks he was going to do. I tried to trip guard a few of them, but I screwed it up every time I got hit with a burn kick. All it takes is a couple combos and he gets stunned in that match. So after I got knocked to losers from that Viper player, I was furious. Like, I was sending out salty posts on Facebook to vent my rage. It's like, I got called for my next match. So we go to character select. This dude picks a Buki. And at this point I was like, oh, for God's sake. So I was like, just expect every match from here on out to be bad. And I would guess this was the guy who knocked out K-Brad. Okay, K-Brad was gone at this point. Like, he'd lost 2 in a row, or he went 1 and 2. But he was gone from the tournament, and everyone walked away from our area. So I guess this was the guy that sent him to losers. And, I don't know. Like, we played the first game. This must be a weakness of mine. I don't know how to deal with pressure from certain characters, and I guess I just press buttons at the wrong time against Ibuki, because when I get in that vortex, the Ibuki vortex, I'm toast. Like, I should just throw the arcade stick down at that point because I lost. But anyway, I switched to Cammy again to save my ass. In the next games, I get so lucky. It was amazing. I would just stick out crouching forward and buffer spiral arrows. Every time I was at a certain range, he'd try to do something, he gets stuffed with a spiral arrow, and I get a meaty jump in. By the way, this match, this is funny. I'm usually really good at Honda players, but he was just doing random crap that was working. He also sent me a very salty message afterwards, and I'll get into that later. But anyway, at this point, I made it to losers semifinals, and I am still somehow in this tournament due to playing a character that I did not practice with before Evo. So this actually gave me the advantage in the next set. I'm sitting there in my chair, my opponent walks up to the setup, and there's this really scrubby Zangief player that I watched a while ago. I don't know how he made it in the bracket this far in the tournament, but one of this guy's friends that was watching my previous match, he goes up to him in this sort of low whispering voice and says, "You got this, man. This dude, he's a Cammy player, do lots of focuses and lariats." He didn't really whisper it though. Like, everyone that was around heard him. So I picked Guile, and the player's like, "Oh, so we're playing the counter-picking game, huh?" I was like, whatever, moron. I didn't even answer him back. I outplayed him most of the first game. But then he did like a crazy jump in, that empty jump into Ultra, and it hit me. In that round, it got close, I guess, which gave him the confidence to stick with Geef in the next match. The game, in the last game we played, whenever he got close to me, I would just like jump away to make sure I didn't get hit with an Ultra. So I played super lame, and I ended up kicking his ass. I finally played a match with Guile all the way through. So in the middle of the match with this Geef player, I look over to the other setup in our area to see what's going on in Winners Finals. It was that Rain dude that I lost to in Winners, and Mr. SNK. Then I noticed Mr. SNK like getting up and looking pissed off, and the Rain guy walking away. So it turns out Mr. SNK lost that match, and he went over to see who he was going to play during my match. You know, since I was in losers finals, he was going to get the winner. He was probably pulling for that scrubby Zangief player so much. He probably looked over and was like, "Oh my god, a Guile player? Are you kidding me?" I know how he feels. I fought many bad matches too in that tournament. Yeah, I've met Mr. SNK before in past Evos, and I've tried to play him online. He always finds a way to leave, and doesn't talk to me afterwards. I don't know what happens, but he always it seems like he avoids me. He says he doesn't want to deal with a bad connection, but it's probably lucky for me in the past that we didn't play, since he didn't know what kind of a player I was. Before the match, I said I've tried to get a few games with him before, and he's like, "Oh, I must have missed you." I don't believe that at all, though. And we started our match, and right away it was apparent to me that I was gonna win. Like, throughout the match, his buddies were trying to pump him up, just saying like, "Don't worry, Nico, you got this. You know this match." I was like, "Yeah, so do I." Not only is Guile a horrible match for Honda, but the reads that I made were right. Like, I guess I was just getting lucky with everything I guessed that would happen happened. Whenever I guessed butt slam was coming, I had a down fierce ready. I stuck out jabs to stuff headbutts. My back fists were going unpunished, and I focus attacked a few roundhouses. So I don't think he won a round. I was very relieved. By the way, when I see people have low PP like this, I just rush in on them, try to get the match over quick, if you hadn't noticed. Yeah, so during my pool, I guess, instead of seeing K-Brad and Mr. S&K make it out, some weirdo named Rain and some asshole named Finelikewine ended up making it in the quarterfinals. No one saw that coming. I told myself I was going to stick to Guile from there on out. And in the quarterfinals match, I played against a very talented Ibuki player, and I got destroyed. In that matchup, you just, if you guess wrong on her rushdown once, then you get sent in the vortex. And I mean, it is what it is. At least this time, when I lost to a skilled player. I don't know, maybe it would have been different if I played Cammy against that Viper and that Ibuki, but yeah, in any case, I did have fun cheering on Dominion getting to top 8. I think he lost that match against Gamer B because he didn't have much experience with Adon. There's not too many quality Adon players in this country to practice with. And I don't know of any on the East Coast either. I never thought I'd see a Guile player in the top 8. That should give us all hope that we can make it in the top 8 too someday. Okay, like I said before, this Honda player that's coming up, he sent me a really salty message talking bad about me and Guile. I was like, hey, you leave Guile alone. Don't hurt his feelings. Sending hurtful messages on Xbox Live. It's pointless to complain about bad matches. Like, it's part of the game. You gotta fight through them or counterpick. He knew who I played too, so he thought I was a shitty player, so he was gonna put me in my place, but as you can see, it's not going well for him. Yeah, like, this is probably even worse than my match with Mr. SNK. I mean, he's just jumping in on me and I'm down fiercing him. Honda could beat a down fierce with a jump in jab, but he doesn't do any of them. I don't even think he can get a butt slam off in time. I usually down fierce him though. I think I stun him twice too. Yeah, he should not be wildly jumping in like this. That's not what you're supposed to do at all. Oh, fierce EX flash kick. Yeah. When that happens, you could always trade with down fierce. So yeah. Sorry it was voiceover this time. I will do tutorials and more Let's Plays in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.